Star Wars has an extensive and wide-reaching fan base. With films, books, video games, TV series, tons of merchandise, and much more, the Star Wars galaxy is massive and unending. And with more and more material being released all the time, it's not surprising that fans and non-fans have had mixed or even conflicting opinions about Star Wars material. These divided opinions continue to grow, and since the release of The Last Jedi in 2017, the polarization between fans has only become greater. And while sites like Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, and others are useful to gauge which material was liked by the general public, it's hard to know for sure how Star Wars fans alone would score the material. What's more, with the release of the extremely controversial series The Acolyte, fans appear more divided than ever. Add review bombing into the mix, and the question of what knowledgeable Star Wars fans really think becomes even more confusing. So, as longtime Star Wars fans and creators of TrueSWFans.com, we've created a new and specialized rating system for Star Wars material.
Before we dive in, let's first talk about the fundamentals of Star Wars and how they determine how the rating system is set up. At its core, Star Wars contains fundamental bedrock elements, all of which you can see in the original trilogy and which are frequently seen in the prequels. Quality storytelling, character self-development, growing friendships, and mysteries of the Force are just a few of these key elements. Fans know this. That's probably a large reason why many love the saga so much. It's our theory that the polarization seen in Star Wars media has come about at least in part because many fans connect with these elements, while others, even film critics, aren't necessarily concerned about them at all. And while some reactions regarding media have been unkind or even hurtful, our goal is to look at Star Wars material professionally and respectfully, acknowledging the hard work of many talented people while also critiquing it to give it an honest fan score. And the best part is, if you're a fan who wants to be heard and helped in a professional way, keep watching and we'll show you how you can. So welcome the General Audience Functional Fan Index, or more affectionately, the GAFFI Score, a hybrid score that uses both general audience polling and fan-based scores of itemized criteria to take a closer look at the quality of Star Wars media. First, the score looks at three major audience polls: IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, and Metacritic. If any of the scores shows likelihood of review bombing, then that score is removed. The remaining scores are then averaged and compared against a fan-based rating. The idea for a fan-based rating really came as inspiration when watching the Olympic gymnastics competitions. In these competitions, athletes get a score based on two different aspects. The first is the move itself and how difficult it is to perform. But in the second piece, they receive an execution score on how well they actually performed or executed those moves. Until now, ratings for Star Wars have really looked at the overall move, but focused less on individual executions. Instead, the GAFFI score looks at overall scoring and execution and combines them together. This way you have a score that is fair to the public and the fans.
So how is the execution score actually created? Just like a panel of judges, knowledgeable fans rate the top 5 plot lines of the series or film as well as the worst 5, both the really good and the really bad of what fans and media are saying. We pour through Reddit, Screen Rant, YouTube, and the rest of the internet to identify those plot lines. Then, we carefully score the 10 resulting points, as well as 3 universal categories, which are storytelling quality, character development, and continuity. The 13 points are then averaged together and combined with the general audience average to create the GAFFI score. Notably, if any general audience score had to be removed due to review bombing, the score is reported with a dagger symbol to show that it had to be modified to account for this problem. In addition, the initial score described in these videos is marked with an asterisk to show that it was submitted by just the two of us as the creators of TrueSWFans. But the good news is that if you want to be a part of the score, you can apply to be a Star Wars fan critic also. Once accepted, you can submit your execution score and add your rating to the GAFFI score, which will be continually updated on TrueSWFans.com.
If you want your voice heard, you can find the link to the application on TrueSWFans.com in the show notes below. You'll be asked to fill out some basic info about your passion for Star Wars and a few questions that tell us more about your Star Wars preferences. We'll also ask you to take a quiz to check your Star Wars knowledge. And to thank those who show dedication by submitting ratings over time, we plan to award Star Wars merchandise, things like lightsabers, apparel, and even more.
So hop onto TrueSWFans.com or click the link in the description below to join the growing movement of Star Wars fan critics who rate the GAFFI scores for Star Wars material today. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.